Welcome back to our channel where we share insights from the Bible. Let's dive into the dark alleys of Jericho, where betrayal and desperation lurk at every corner. One woman's courage and faith will defy all expectations. This is the untold story of Rahab, whose bravery turned the tide of history. Brace yourselves for a tale of redemption and transformation that begins in the most unlikely of places. In the ancient city of Jericho, the streets were filled with whispers of fear and uncertainty. The Israelites, a powerful force guided by their God, were encamped just beyond the Jordan River, ready to lay siege to the fortified city. Within the imposing walls of Jericho, life carried on, but the air was thick with anxiety. Among the inhabitants was a woman named Rahab, known for her occupation as a harlot. Her home, built into the city wall, was a place where secrets were shared, and deals were made under the cover of darkness. Rahab's life was one of hardship and survival. She was often scorned and judged by her neighbors, but her sharp mind and resilience had allowed her to navigate the perils of her profession. Despite the harsh realities of her existence, Rahab carried a spark of hope within her, a belief in something greater than the life she had known. Like, share and subscribe for more video like this. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and shadows lengthened, Rahab received unexpected visitors. Two men, strangers with a distinct aura of purpose, appeared at her door. They were Israelite spies, sent by Joshua to scout the city in preparation for the impending siege. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Rahab made a swift decision that would alter the course of her life and the fate of her city. With a calm exterior masking her inner turmoil, Rahab welcomed the spies into her home. She knew that harboring enemies of the state was a dangerous act of treason, punishable by death. Yet, something within her, a glimmer of faith, compelled her to protect these men. She hid them under bundles of flax on her rooftop, while the king's soldiers scoured the city in search of the intruders. When the soldiers came knocking, demanding the whereabouts of the spies, Rahab spun a tale with unwavering composure. They were here, she admitted, but they left at dusk. If you hurry, you might catch them on the road to the Jordan River. The soldiers, convinced by her deceit, hurried off into the night. Once the danger had passed, Rahab ascended to the rooftop where the spies lay concealed. Her heart raced with the gravity of her actions. She knew that her fate was now entwined with the destiny of these men and their God. "I know that the Lord has given you this land," Rahab confessed, her voice steady despite the fear that threatened to overwhelm her. "The terror of you has fallen on us, and all who live in this land are melting in fear because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the waters of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the two kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. When we heard of it, our hearts melted in fear and everyone's courage failed because of you, for the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below." In that moment, Rahab's faith was palpable. She saw beyond the walls of Jericho, beyond the life she had known, and placed her trust in the God of Israel. She made a plea to the spies, "Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, because I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them, and that you will save us from death." The spies agreed, binding their promise with a solemn oath. "Our lives for your lives," they assured her. "If you don't tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us the land." They instructed Rahab to tie a scarlet cord in her window as a signal to the Israelite forces, marking her home as a place of sanctuary. As the spies prepared to leave, Rahab helped them escape through a window, letting them down by a rope. They fled to the hills, where they remained hidden until it was safe to return to Joshua and report all they had learned. Meanwhile, Rahab tied the scarlet cord in her window, a tangible sign of her newfound faith and hope. Days turned into a tense wait, as the Israelites approached the city. The sound of marching feet and the blasts of rams' horns echoed through the streets of Jericho. The city's inhabitants trembled behind their fortified walls, uncertain of what lay ahead. On the seventh day, the Israelites marched around the city 7 times. As the final blast of the horns rang out, the walls of Jericho collapsed, crumbling into ruins. Amid the chaos, Rahab's home stood untouched, marked by the scarlet cord. True to their word, the Israelite spies returned for Rahab and her family. They led them to safety, sparing their lives in the midst of destruction. Rahab's act of courage and faith had saved her family and paved the way for a new beginning. Rahab's story did not end with the fall of Jericho. She was welcomed into the Israelite community, where she found redemption and a place of honor. Her lineage became part of the very fabric of Israel's history. She married Salmon, and together they had a son named Boaz, who would become the great-grandfather of King David. Rahab's faith had not only saved her family but had also woven her into the lineage of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. Rahab's tale is one of incredible transformation. From the shadows of Jericho to a place of honor in the history of Israel, her courage and faith turned the tide of history. Her story reminds us that no matter our past, we can find redemption and a new purpose through faith and courageous acts. Rahab's story teaches us that even in the darkest of circumstances, courage and faith can lead to redemption and transformation. Let her tale inspire you to take bold steps of faith in your own life. No matter your past, you have the power to change your future and make a lasting impact. Share Rahab's story with others and encourage them to find their own path to redemption. Together, we can inspire a world where faith and courage turn the tide of history.